Hey everyone, it's Eve. I know it's been a while since I posted a recording. It's just that there hasn't been much happening until recently in the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni case. But as you know, things have really blown up lately with the unsealing and the motion for summary judgment and motion on the pleadings. Now, I usually focus on the bigger picture of this case. In my opinion, being that people in positions of power using systems put into place to protect those with less power to their advantage, and that is also done through mainstream media with manipulation. That is a big issue. That, to me, is the core issue of this case. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. Everyone seems pretty hung up on the whole Taylor Swift and Blake Lively of it all. So I'm just going to briefly share my thoughts and opinions on this. And like I've always said, this is just my opinion. Don't sue me. Blake, Ryan, Taylor, please don't sue me. It's just my opinion, okay? I've just been... Oh, and I apologize for the poor recording quality. I normally use my mic, but I'm on my phone right now. So I apologize for that. I've been mulling this whole situation around in my head. You know, Blake Lively and Taylor Swift. And if you don't know much about that, please watch some other content creators. They have some really great videos on that where they break everything down and update you with what was said and unfiled. I'm just giving my opinion on this. I'm not going to recap everything for you. So after thinking about it, who you're friends with says a lot about your character. And like other people have stated, they find it hard to believe Taylor didn't know what type of person Blake Lively is after being friends with her for 10 years. And I agree, I find that highly unlikely. I don't know these people, though. I have to say that. I don't know these people. I'm sure they have some good qualities. Everybody has good qualities and bad qualities. Through people's actions and repeated actions, and how they respond when they get called out on bad behavior, I think that can really help someone get a picture of what that person's like at their core, if that makes sense. And in my opinion, at their core, Blake Lively and Taylor Swift, I don't think they're very good people, but that's just my opinion. Now, I've seen other creators and especially fans of Taylor Swift, not all of them, are trying to justify or downplay her bad behavior. And you know, we don't have all the facts. We don't have all the text messages and conversations. And you know, we probably never will. But I think trying to downplay what she's done, by doing that, you're saying she's like a child. And that she doesn't know right from wrong. Oh, she was just supporting her friend. Maybe. We haven't seen any text messages or any evidence that Blake Lively told Taylor Swift that Baldoni was, sexually harassing her or making her very uncomfortable. We haven't seen any information like that, of them discussing that. Maybe she thought that he was trying to smear her, but a lot of their talks and plans about how to gain more control over the movie again and take it away from Justin because he doesn't know what he's doing, that all occurred way before the alleged smear campaign, which I don't believe happened, occurred. So I was asking myself, okay, well, maybe she was trying to be a supportive friend. I think both of them knew a lot of the stuff they were saying about Justin and Jamie. They knew it wasn't true. Now, I'm not a psychologist. I don't know. I have been a teenage girl before. I'm a woman now, but I was a teenager at one point. And unfortunately, a lot of people engage in this psychological warfare, but also I would call it like a psychological manipulation of their own selves. And they do that to justify behaving or doing certain things that they know deep down are wrong. But if they can frame it in a way that presents that person as a bad person, then they can use that as their core to justify treating them like shit, is essentially, and bully them. And not just on things that they're claiming to be true that would be a problem, like unwanted sexual behavior or inappropriate jokes. But they're like, well, since he's a bad person, we can also make fun of things like his wardrobe, his knowledge for, or lack of knowledge of pop culture, things like that, because it's okay to do that to someone that's you deemed a horrible person. In my opinion, deep down, especially when you get like a group of teenage girls or just a group of not so great people, you want something or you want to destroy someone, but you're like, I don't want to see myself as a bad person. So I have to frame all their actions and their words and twist them in my mind to make them out to be something that they're not. Because if I can make this person a bad person in my mind and then share that image with my friends, then I can justify treating them like crap, in this case taking the movie, because they're a bad person. And I think that's kind of what happened here. A lot of people have said that Taylor Swift and Blake Lively are like teenagers, and I kind of have to agree. They say, oh, not that it excuses their bad behavior, because it doesn't. But it helps understand the situation. In addition to that, I think like, oh, well, if Blake Lively's making this narrative to justify things, then obviously Taylor Swift was just supporting her friend because she believed her. But I don't really think that's the case either. I think Taylor Swift, deep down, there was no evidence otherwise. I think she deep down knew what Blake Lively was telling her was not 100% true. But there's something about, like, when you get together with your friends and you can, like, do a whole us versus them and psychology maneuver. I hate to say this, out loud because it's very wrong, but there's like a sense of fun. There's a sense of thrill. Like you're sharing in something. Like you guys are the heroes and you're teaming up to take down this evil villain. And you gain stuff out of it, but that's okay because this person's awful. And you get excited. Even if it's not your villain, you support a friend in the delusion because it's fun for you, if that makes sense. Like in Taylor's mind, she might have been like, yeah, I'm supporting a friend. But in my opinion, I think she got involved all in this. This is just my opinion. Because it was fun for her. Even if you're like this famous billionaire celebrity, it's still fun feeling like you belong to this inside group. Maybe even more so, since, it's everything else around you is so superficial. By doing this with Blake, even though that's probably superficial, it's like they don't realize that, but she felt like she had something that was exciting, fun. She probably felt more powerful because her whole brand, her whole image is to maintain like this wholesome image. It also kind of reminds me of like child stars or of like child musicians or actors. Like when they're trying to age out, but people keep treating them like children. They start engaging in typical rebellion behavior, but they amplify it to really be like, hey, I'm an adult. I'm going to do all these things which aren't really, in my opinion, the adult thing to do, but to distance myself, to get out of this image of a wholesome child. Now, I feel like, in my opinion, Taylor can't get out of that image. It's like she's stuck in that like kind of like Hannah Montana era, because that's what her whole brand is. It's almost like she's stuck at being that wholesome Disney Nickelodeon teen type. You know what I mean? As someone in her late 30s, it must be weird having that image of, even though like she acts like a teen, she has to maintain that even if she didn't want to, because that's her brand. Now, obviously, she doesn't have to maintain that, but you know, she's gonna lose a lot if she doesn't. It's quite fascinating. Horrible what they've done. I feel for with Justin Baldoni and Wayfair. But I'm glad this is coming out about them, because it really is eye-opening to, and I think it should be, especially to other younger teenage girls, that this type of behavior is not okay. It's not. Sure, it happens, but if you can't grow as a person and move beyond that, it's just sad. Now, I said I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not a publicist either. But I was just thinking, I know part of me wants to see her fail, and that's not very good either. But with Taylor Swift, I was just thinking, her silence really is saying a lot. If she was someone that just wanted to believe a friend and helping a friend, once she found out what Blake Lively's done, and that she was spreading these false lies that Justin Baldoni's a predator, if she was such a good, wholesome person, she would have come out already and be like, whoa, I was wrong. I was just helping a friend. Don't persecute this innocent man. Obviously, it's too late to do that without, taking more culpability on herself. I don't know. I feel like as a PR person, I would say, hey, Taylor, there's two ways this can go. You come out, do the whole apology, non-apology, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not saying this is right. I think she should be sincere, but that probably won't happen. But if I was a PR person, I would be like, hey, you come out and you say you were supporting a friend, even though you didn't have all the facts, and you got caught up on all of it. You just got caught up all in the excitement. Your life's stressful. It was wrong, immature. You see that now, and you're sorry for any harm. I don't even think you can say not maliciously because of what's come out now. But you're growing as a person. And then make it kind of like a learning, teaching lesson to teen girls. Like, hey, I messed up here. Don't do what I did. I'm going to try to do better. You guys should try to avoid this behavior. And, we'll all try together. Kumbaya, Either that. Or two, she could do the whole Breaking Bad thing. She could get out of her Disney kid image. Own her bad behavior. But not just own it, but embrace it. Be like, yeah, so what? I'm cutthroat. That's how it is. You have to be cutthroat to survive in this industry. I don't give a shit. You know what? I'm going to break out the mold and start doing, darker music and really sexualize myself even more so. Now, see, that one kind of hit or miss. I'm not sure how that would play out, especially with someone like her. I don't know. I don't know what would happen if she did that, to be honest. Honestly, though, I know some people are still going to be her fan. It's hard. They want her to be this image they have. Or they're just like, I like her music. Yeah, she's kind of a shit person, but I'm still going to listen to her music. And I don't want to say that's fine, but okay. Like I said, don't try to justify her actions or explain away her bad behavior. Own it. Say, she did shitty things. She probably is a bad person, but you don't care. You want to listen to her music. Stop trying to twist the narrative like the mainstream media is. Research the facts. Check your biases and be honest about them. And just be honest with yourself, even more so than other people. Be like, I like Taylor Swift, but she might not be who she says she is. And what she did was awful. And I don't support that behavior. And decide if you want to listen to her music or not, if that affects that. What you don't do is continually trying to make Justin out to be the bad guy. I'm sure he has a lot of negative faults. We all do. And ask yourself, was Blake sexually harassed? No.